on purpose. I don't have to miss.
I believe you. So what happens now?
We face each other as God intended. Sportsmanlike. No tricks, no weapons. Skill against skill alone.
You mean you'll put down your rock and I'll put down my sword and we'll try and kill each other like civilized people?
I can kill you now.
Frankly, I think the odds are slightly in your favor at hand fighting.
It's not my fault being the biggest and the strongest. I don't even exercise.
Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys, The Princess Bride, Fezzik Deluxe figure, and this is a huge figure. He is so big. This box is massive, and we'll take a look at it, but first, let me show you how massive it is. I will try to compare it with something I have handy. Here's a DC Multiverse figure. You can see huge, oversized box there. That's not good. Let me see what else I got. How about a deluxe Marvel Legends figure box? Not that close to it. I mean, you still got a lot of space here at the top, so no. I think one of the things I do have that may be comparable is the Super 7 Mumra. Look at that. Now that is about the same size, I think, and these are both huge figures, and more about him later, but we are here to talk about Fezzik. And taking a look at Fezzik, you can see he is in this huge open window box, and you can see he's got a couple accessories in there. You have McFarlane Toys, 12 plus, The Princess Bride, Fezzik. On this side of the box, you have The Princess Bride and Buttercup and Wesley, McFarlane Toys. On this side of the box, The Princess Bride, Fezzik, McFarlane Toys. On the top of the box, you just got The Princess Bride. On the bottom of the box, you get some credits and barcodes for the box. And finally, on the back of the box, you have The Princess Bride, and you have Fezzik and the other figures that we've already reviewed in this series, 22 moving parts, and some more credits for the box. But anyway, that is the massive box. That is Fezzik, and no one wants to see this guy in the box. I know I don't, so let's get him out and see what this giant can do. And here we have Fezzik out of the box, and out of the box he stands at a whopping 9.5 inches tall, and he's a giant. Not very surprising since his character was portrayed by the late great Andre the Giant, and he also comes with a few accessories in his box, which we'll take a look at later. But first off, I want to take a look at this gentle giant himself. And coming real close in on Fezzik's face, you can see that this is Andre the Giant to a T. I love the way this guy looks. And if you don't know who Andre the Giant is, or you've never seen him in wrestling, he was really this big. He was huge. And he had a lot of huge features. His hands were so big. Anyway, taking a look at the face is really done well. You got a lot of shading marks around the eyes and around the mouth. You have a nice head of curly hair. It does look a little spotty in places, but that's just plastic, and just how it looked like, I guess, that they couldn't get it to be all I don't know, dry looking. It does look like it's wet, but that's okay. Got some nice mutton chops here on the sides. Love that. Nice eyes kind of looking off to the side. Nice big huge nose, huge chin molded in there coming down to his huge neck. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can take a look at his full stature, and taking a look at his garb. His garb is very, very simple. He does have this shirt on. Now the detail on the shirt looks like it's actually cloth with all the details in there, but it's actually just plastic. It's hard plastic. When you get up here, down here, it's a little softer, so you can actually move the bottom of the shirt. It is long sleeve, comes up to some nice cuffs here at the wrists. And he has some nice molded hands here, fist here, open hand here. There's some strings on the shirt, and there's a belt here in the middle. Now, this belt seems to be one piece. I don't know if it's glued on there, but the fact that it's off-centered is going to drive me nuts. Hopefully I'll mess with that and see if I can get it moved over a little bit. But the belt does have a little bit of texture to it. You got a nice silver there for the little buckle, and there's a little piece here that pokes out to be authentic. Looking around the sides, yeah, shirt goes all the way around. Nothing really on the back. It's still just one solid piece. You do have a little bit of molded wrinkles and ridges in there, so that is cool. Coming down to his pants are a nice alternation of light purple and then dark purple stripes going down. That is really neat. And you come down to his reddish brown boots, and you have a lot of good molded detail in there. I really like the way this guy came out, and he is just, again, huge figure, and he does have some weight to him. All right, and that is what Fezzik is going to look like. Moving on. And for our articulation, starting at the head can go around 360 degrees. Not normal, but you can do it. It doesn't look down a lot. You do get a little bit, just a hair of down looking and just a hair of up looking. It does tilt side to side, which is, you know, very nice for when he's confused about something. And that will bring us down to the shoulders. The shoulders can go around 360 degrees, and they can come up from the body. There is a nice hinge that gives you a lot of movement there, so that is good, up and down. And he does not have a bicep swivel, but that will bring you down to his elbow bend. He does have one. It is kind of tight in there, but you do get about 90 degrees, if not a little over, so that's good. And there is a forearm rotation built into that, so you can go all the way around 360 degrees, and that will bring you down to the wrist, and the wrist can rotate 360 degrees, and it has a built-in hinge that is actually built into the hand. And I've never really seen that before, but I think they had to do it because of how big the character was. Now, it doesn't look too bad when you bring it up like that. You do have a little protrusion here, but when you bring it on the other side, that's gonna look kind of weird, but I don't know. It's not really too bad, and I think that they gave it to us. It was a good thing, so I am not going to complain. So let's zoom back out. Oh, this guy's so big. All right, that will bring us down to the waist, and believe it or not, he does have waist articulation. It will turn him all the way around 360 degrees, and if you kind of use the legs rotation, you can kind of get them to bend down and up. It's kind of back and forth as a ab crunch, and then you do get a little bit of side to side, so you can bend some hips if you're so inclined. All right, and that will bring down to the legs. Now, there's not going to be a lot of movement from these legs because they're really huge. Now, you're standing straight up, you can move up like he's taking a step. You can move back just a little bit, and then you can move out to the side. So that's where you're gonna get most of your movement, out to the side. So that is pretty good. There is a slight thigh rotation. I wouldn't say it's 360 degrees, but you can move it a little bit. But I wouldn't mess with it too much. It doesn't feel too sturdy. And that will bring you down to the knee bend. Now the knee bend is technically below the knee. It's actually more of a boot bend because the boot is where it will go back. So you got right there, and you do get about 90 degrees out of it, so that's not too bad. And that will bring you down to the boot cut, and there is a boot cut. It will go around 360 degrees, and that will bring you down to the foot, and the foot is on a hinge, as you can see right here, and the hinge will go up. So you can put the foot up like he's walking the cliffs of insanity, and the foot can go down. So he's tiptoeing if he was so inclined to do such a thing. And that will lead to your foot rotation, and it will rotate all the way around the world 360 degrees and bring you down to the toe articulation, which will bring you up to that much. And that's about it for your articulation. And this guy is very articulated for being as big as he is. So I'm not really surprised that you can't get a lot out of the legs going forward and backward. But he is still very flexible. All right, moving on. And for his first accessory, he comes with a figure stand. And it's just basically a black Princess Bride and a foot peg on it. And you could put that down, let's get him down there, and he could kind of stand on it. I mean, he can, and it will fit in there. It's just, he's a big fellow, and it's kind of a small stand for him. I wouldn't have been surprised if they gave us even like a bigger stand so he could get both his feet, but it'll work for what it is. If you're interested in figure stands, there you go. Moving on. And the next accessory we have is kind of a little obscure one, and it's one of those that blink and you might miss it from the movie, and it's a peanut. And basically the only time we hear mention of this is when they have kidnapped Princess Buttercup and they're setting sail, and Fezzik had a little habit of making rhymes, and it would get on Vicini's nerves, and at one point he said, "No more rhymes, now I mean it!" And then Fezzik piped up, "Anybody want a peanut?" And that is where this little peanut comes from. So yeah, it's neat, it's cool. He can hold it if you open up his hand and put it in his palm, but that's about the only place that it will fit with him. So that is going to be his peanut. Moving on. And Fezzik's last accessory is this big rock, and that's nicely done for a rock. It's just plastic, and you got a lot of detail in here and some paint wash that makes it look all worn and rockish, and it's, you know, it's kind of hefty and it kind of looks like a rock. So I think they did a good job. And obviously this is what he used to threaten the man in black, and he can hold this really well, and you can see here. So yeah, and that is going to be his rock. Moving on. And for comparison, here you have Fezzik with the Dread Pirate Roberts, Princess Buttercup, and Inigo Montoya. And this is the completed first wave of the McFarlane Toys Princess Bride. And I love this set of figures. It is so accurate to the movie. You put these guys in a display anywhere, and I guarantee you everybody is going to recognize them immediately. I could sit here and stare at these figures all day, but we've got other things to do. So, moving on. And this has been the McFarlane Toys, the Princess Bride Fezzik. And this was a huge, fun toy to play with. I absolutely love this guy. I love how they got Andre the Giant's likenesses right onto him, and he stepped right out of the movie. He is a great figure, very hefty. He's surprisingly articulate for how big he is. He can do a lot of stuff I wasn't suspecting that he would do. And if you're collecting this line, definitely going to have Fezzik. Now, finding him may be an issue. I searched Targets for months, and I knew he was out, but I never could find him, so I just broke down and bought him online. So if you're looking for him, you can check out eBay. You can check out other online retailers. I'm sure you'll find him there. He goes anywhere from 40 to 45 bucks because he is a very, very large figure. So if you're looking for him, happy hunting. And like I said before, this wraps up the first wave of the Princess Bride figures. We know that there is a second wave coming, and it's going to have another Fezzik, it's going to have another Dread Pirate Roberts, it's going to have another Inigo Montoya, it's going to have another Princess Buttercup, and it's going to give us Vicini, which is a figure that I can't wait to get my hands on. So that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep playing.
A great gift for Ryan.
Yes, yes. Some of the time.
Enough of that! Fezzik, are there rocks ahead?
If they are, you'll be dead.
No more rhymes now, I mean it!
Anybody want a peanut?
Yeah!